All right, y'all. Like I said, launched my channel, Karma Talk Live, where we're gonna talk behind the scenes about what happens in the movie industry, not the gossip, not the actors per se, but the business of on screen. I just happen to get involved in this strongly with the ongoings of what's happening behind the scenes with the color purple. So I'm gonna start my page from the opening and unwinding saga of what happened to the color purple. Stop blaming Taraji for what happened on the color purple. The color purple was in trouble long before it started. If you go to my YouTube page, you can see the long version of what I think happened to the movie. So I'll give you the condensed version of what happened with the color purple. The color purple originally came out in 1985. I was 12 years old. I didn't have no money to go to the movies. And if I did go to the movies, I wasn't going to see no color purple. So I made it to the see the color purple on the backs of my mama, who had to take me to the movies to see the color purple. So you get two generations right there. You get my mama age and you get me. So when I went to see it with my mama, of course I'm there. So the movie is kind of going to resonate with me at a later time in life. So the songs, the music, harpo, all that's going to stick with me. So when the color purple comes back around, oh, everybody my age and close to my age have nostalgia because we are attached to the original version of the color purple that we went to see with our mamas. We didn't have no movie to go to the show. So they gained a free audience because we had to go with our parents to see it. Fast forward. Now that I'm 50, woohoo, I'm 50, my kids are grown. So by the time the color purple comes back around again, it's nostalgic to me, but my kids don't care because they weren't attached to it. So the opening numbers, which they said were good, is us. We are the ones who followed our nostalgia of the color purple back to the theater. That's it. That's all. Ain't no more. So, like I said, on my channel, I'm gonna do live from my news desk, which is my official news desk, where I come with the whole story, facts included, paperwork, fact checking, Gingy, all of that. But when I'm sitting here, it's because other news has come down my feed that I want to address at the same time. So you're gonna get this version, and you're gonna get live copy from my news desk, which is my set. But I'm just tired of hearing them saying that this girl is the reason why this movie did not do good. They had problems before the movie even released. They was not feeding them. They were not, they had to share a trailer. They had rented cars. They didn't even have car service picking them up, which is unreal. I've been in a couple of movies and I even had my own trailer and I'm not even a no list actor. So why would you not think that it would be in the best interest to give your main A-list, B-list actors a trailer, let alone a bologna sandwich? I don't understand that. When we shoot movies and do projects and stuff like that, the first two things we talk about is one, location, two, craft services. So there's not even going to be a discussion going further besides one, location, two, craft services, and that's on a filmmaker level such as mine. But with a studio film, there is no way that they did not know that these people were not being fed and that they had to share a trailer. They had to call Oprah Winfrey in and say, they're not feeding us, Miss O, and they're not giving us our own trailer. She knew. So if there's going to be any blame for the failure of this movie, take it up with the production, take it up with the studio, take it up with the executive producer. When I go back to the news desk, that's who I'm going to be talking about. I'm blasting them for even trying to say that the bad press is the reason why this movie is not doing good. Has nothing to do with that. This movie was doomed from the studio because of how they did it. We showed up. We did our part. You can't wait to release another movie 40 years after the primary and think that there's still an audience. We are the last audience for that group. Our parents are too old to go back to the theater for it. They may catch it on screaming if their children know how to set up their parents' TV and get it where they can see it or put it on for them. You all lost some footing here. And then I don't even think they should have marketed this one as a color purple. I think they should have called it something else, paying some homage to this. And another thing I'm gonna just say, this is like my soapbox post. They talking about some Whoopi Goldberg is gonna make a special cameo. Ooh, it's a surprise cameo. They didn't even know that she was in it. The director kept that a secret from everybody, from him and his few people on his set that he trusted. Nobody else knew that Whoopi Goldberg was going to be in this movie. And I think that was in poor taste. I'm going to take this story back to the news desk too. I think that was in poor taste how they did that. How can you not have Whoopi Goldberg? She should have been greatly affiliated with this, but I think it was some behind the scenes nonsense going on why she was not. I think it was a big mistake. I think it was a big mistake putting her as the midwife. That was basically the equivalent of an extra. I don't think that that was a good use of Whoopi Goldberg. So I'm soapboxing right now because it's a lot of violations in a movie that I loved so much. The production of the movie, I think, was well. The singing, the dancing was well, but that was not what our expectation was for The Color Purple. Because if we wanted that, we would have went to see that on the theater stage. I seen it on the theater stage, and I think I felt the same way about them both equally. It didn't resonate any further than me seeing it and knowing I was looking at The Color Purple. But, mm, mm. But for them to be trying to blame this girl for this movie not doing well is out of control. No other movie that she was in, they're not getting on here saying Taraji jacked up our movie. She was in a lot of movies that did not do as well as they thought it was. I didn't see anybody else jumping up on the screen blaming her for it. If anybody, you need to check yourself. Oprah, we ain't checking for you right now. You have done a lot of suspect things to our community, so we ain't checking for you right now. So if you gonna blame somebody, whistle, kick some rocks, and talk to your production team. Y'all should have did some stats. Y'all should have took some polls to see who was going to be the expected audience for this movie. Then y'all could have known if this was a good idea or not. Y'all should have sent it straight to streaming, I think. Y'all should have did it because we're the last audience for that. My 70-year-old mother was not going to be trying to go to see The Color Purple on opening weekend, Christmas, over the Christmas holidays, because for one, ooh, it's very nostalgic, but I'm not going to, So I think that it was just a timing issue and you all not being in tune with who would actually be the ones that show up for this movie. And that's what happened to The Color Purple. Not Taraji P asking for more of her money, which she should have got that in the first place. She is the biggest talent on there. That brought it was yes, it was Fantasia and Danielle, and there was a lot of other stars on there, but the expectation was for Taraji to carry the project, and we all know this. So don't be acting brand new, and don't be blaming that on her. Like I said, I'm a filmmaker. I ain't got no filmmaker dollars like y'all do, but I do know at the top of the list is they own trailer and they craft services. So for those two things in particular to be overlooked, I think it's bogus and it ain't their fault. And I'm going to be on this for a minute. So welcome me to live and welcome me to my channel on the backs of this Color Purple debacle. See y'all later.